Hi, this video is about what I studied at university and whether I think it's helped me and if it's been beneficial and worth it. So hopefully it will help those of you who are studying at university or even in high school thinking of whether you're going to go to university and whether it's worth your time. So I finished high school in the year 2004, so I started university in 2005. That was my first year of university, and I studied here in Sydney for the whole 8 years that I've been going to university. And I'm 28 years old now, and I've been out of university for around 2 years. So the first degree that I did was a Bachelor of Arts in Communication in Media Arts and Production, and I studied this at the University of Technology, Sydney. It's a 3-year degree, and it's primarily a Bachelor of Arts, and then it's specialized in media arts and production. So I did get a well-rounded education, but I also learnt some technical things to do with media and sound editing and film editing and writing. And this was a degree that I was just interested in doing when I was in high school. And even in high school, I wasn't sure what I was interested in doing. I mean, I didn't have any clear career path that I wanted to follow. So I thought, I'll just do something that's quite broad but also interesting to me. And so I went into this course, and it was a pretty lightweight course in that even though it was full-time, I only had to go to about 12 hours of class per week, and the lectures, which were 1 hour per week, weren't compulsory. So I actually skipped the lectures and I focused my time more on doing the assignments to pass and just doing my own individual studies. So that's how I got through my bachelor degree, and I did really well. But I also spent a lot of time practicing piano because since I was 10 years old I've been learning the piano, and music was a big part of my life in high school, and I was practicing 2 hours a day preparing for exams by the AMEB, and I did my associate diploma in piano for AMEB when I was 17, and then I continued learning after that. So as I was preparing for the next exam, I was also practicing a lot of piano and trying to keep up with that. So my time was split quite equally between going to university and doing those assignments and learning there, and also practicing piano. And at the age of 15, I started teaching piano. So that was while I was still in high school, and I had one student for 3 years, and I charged $20 for half an hour. And then when I left high school, I looked for more students to start making more money even as I was studying this bachelor degree. So by the end of the bachelor degree, after 3 years, I had a part-time income, and I was teaching about 20 students or so. So I was making quite a good income from teaching piano, and after my bachelor degree, I wasn't really interested in a job that was related to my degree, so I just abandoned that and pursued piano teaching. And the reason that I wasn't interested in doing anything related to my degree was because I didn't feel like climbing the ladder to work for someone else. I didn't want to have to find a job as a sound editor, and I didn't want to be having to conform to someone else's schedule and to travel or be, I don't know, for other people to place demands on me. And that's why I went just straight into full-time piano teaching after my degree. And after my 3-year degree at the University of Technology, I pursued a graduate diploma in music at the Australian Institute of Music. I paid $10,000 for that 1 year of study, and it's quite intensive. For that, I was practicing piano for half the day, almost every day, just to keep up with the demanding performance schedule. And for the graduate diploma is divided into graduate certificate and then you can do another semester of study to get the graduate diploma. And so for the graduate certificate, you have to do a recital, and I think that was about half an hour of music that you have to play. And for recital, you generally memorize the music, so I'd be having to prepare a memorized recital that lasted for half an hour for that graduate certificate, and then to upgrade to the graduate diploma, I had to do another 6 months of study and prepare yet another recital, which was about 40 minutes. So it was a really intensive year. That was in 2008 when I was 22. And at least I was doing something that coincided with my career at that time, which is piano teaching. And I am still a piano teacher because that brings in the regular and reliable income. And I like the idea of working for myself and having control of my income and of my time. So that was 2008, and then in 2009 I was looking into further postgraduate studies because I didn't want to continue on to the Master of Music in Classical Performance at Australian Institute of Music, because I knew it was going to be a lot of hard work and I didn't want to have to repeat that stressful year in 2008 where I was practicing piano for half the day and just getting stressed, because it is really stressful to be a performer, and I don't know if that's my natural talent to perform. I mean, I'm good at working hard and learning things and memorizing things, but when it comes to performance I get really nervous and it doesn't always turn out the way that I want. And I generally do well, but I've never felt that it was my true gift. So I was looking into other studies and I saw a course at the University of New South Wales, and it was a Master of Music in Music Education, and I thought, well, maybe I can do that because that would relate to my piano teaching. So I registered for the research course because you can either choose coursework or research, and in Australia, at least the time that I was entering this university course, it was free to do research because it's government funded, whereas for coursework you do have to pay a certain fee and it's thousands of dollars. So I thought, well, I might as well do research because I am quite independent and I can do research if I want. And that's what my bachelor degree taught me as well, how to research and how to be independent, even though I was kind of being independent because I didn't want to go to lectures. Through that taught me how to research myself and go to the library and do things on my own rather than relying on a professor to tell me what to do. So back to the topic of my Master of Music, I started that, and one of the things you have to do is to prepare a plan for a thesis. So as I was planning for my thesis, I was thinking of all these ideas, and it turned out that my topic was pretty broad and quite large in concept, so too large to fit into a master's research thesis. And my supervisor for the master's research thesis said, maybe you could aim for the PhD, because that would be maybe another 2 years, but you would get a PhD instead of a master's. And I thought, well, I might as well try that. So I jumped into a PhD, and it was really hard work. It was harder than I thought it would be. It was probably almost as hard work as my year 2008, where I was practicing piano half the day, but it was a different kind of work. Instead of being at the piano, I was at the computer every night writing my thesis or researching, or I'd be spending so much time at the library or looking online for books and just doing a heap of work for this thesis. And when I look back at that, I sometimes wonder if I could have spent that time doing something else and been more fruitful with my time. I mean, I have a PhD, and you can now call me Dr. Lisan if you want. I have a PhD in music, but I don't know if I can say that it was worth it. When I watch Durian Writers videos and when I see the accomplishments of other people who have built online businesses or have become financially independent, I think in the back of my mind, oh, maybe I should have started YouTube earlier, or I should have written this heaps of ebooks instead of my PhD. But there's no point in me speculating on what could have happened. So what I'm doing with my PhD is just being grateful for the opportunity of having done it, and being grateful for the 8 years of university experience that I have had. And I think for anyone who wants to go to university, just be aware that it is a lot of time and effort, and you'll probably learn things at university that you couldn't have learned on your own. It just depends on what you want to do, and think about where you want to be, what your career would look like. Even if you're not really sure what you want to do, have an idea of how you would want to be living your life, how you would be spending your days, how much time freedom you would have, how much money you would be making, how much knowledge you would have, and maybe the kind of friends that you would want to have. So when you're considering going to university, it's not just what job will I get after university. I think you have to think of these broader things as well. So I don't know if this video was that helpful, but it was just mainly to open your mind a bit to the reason for going to university and to share my experience, and hopefully that kind of gave you a bit of insight to what it's like to study at university with relation to the courses that I did. So it wasn't like I did a course in maths or science. It was more in the arts and music and things that I was interested in, but it still took a lot of work. If you have any comments, or if you'd like to comment on your own experience or non-experience with university level education or with even high school education, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!